A 7¼ gauge Sweet William steam locomotive part 23. The parts that I ordered from Blackgates Engineering arrived, and in this video I show what the items are. Whenever you build or rebuild any kind of a machine, there is a sequential order that needs to be followed during the process. For instance, I need to repipe quite a lot of the engine, which means I can't bolt the boiler in place until I've done this job. One of the jobs is very important. I need to devise some sort of a lubrication system to apply oil to the twin water pumps underneath the boiler, and also the twin eccentrics that drive them. The piece of 1/4" diameter copper pipe that you've been looking at is essential. Blackgates didn't just send me this piece of pipe, there were quite a few other things, so I'm going to put them inside the ring of pipe and then one at a time explain what they are. Now I have these parts, I will recommence the rebuild of this engine very shortly. Apart from these two items, that's about it for the parts. No prizes for guessing what these are. They are a pair of water gauge glasses. This locomotive has 2 water gauges, which is always a good thing. This is where the parts came from, Blackgates Engineering, and the details are on the labels in 1 or 2 of the bags. I would just like to mention though, as of Friday the 10th of February 2023, it's quite difficult to reach Blackgates by phone, because Heather, who works in the office, is on leave, so the phones are just not getting answered. But this is only a temporary situation. Instead, it's best for the moment to email them, and the email details are on the website. The Blackgates web address is currently on screen. What have we got here? Well, first of all, there is a 1/4" pipe number 6 injector, perfect for this size of boiler. As to the injector numbers, the higher the number, the more water the injector pumps into the boiler. This next item is a bit obvious. It's a 2" diameter pressure gauge. On this pressure gauge, the inlet is at the bottom, which makes it far easier to mount on a pressure gauge siphon which takes steam from the turret. I will have to make one of those, but it's a very simple job. In another polythene bag was a fitting for the pressure gauge, complete with a 1/8 BSP nut. Unfortunately, the fitting is not right for this pressure gauge because it does not fit. It's a simple modification either way. I can either drill the hole to the same diameter as the fitting on the pressure gauge all the way through, or just make a fitting that actually fits. It's a very simple job, it's hardly worth thinking about. This union is part of the pressure gauge siphon anyway. I'm just checking that the 1/8 BSP nut fits, and yes it does. I may make the siphon with 1/4" pipe, which will support the gauge. For now though, I'm going to put the pressure gauge back in the plastic bag. I'll be fitting this to the engine later on in the rebuild. There are 2 parts, as you can see, wrapped in bubble wrap. So I'm now going to wrestle with the bubble wrap to unwrap them. These are the water gauges, and they are a joy to behold. More about these later on in the video. The next parts to look at are the 2 steam taps for the turret. One will be the injector steam valve, and the other one will be to operate the steam blower. Here's a close-up of them, and as you can see, they're for 1/4" pipe, and they are threaded 3/8 by 32 threads per inch. That's why I tapped the holes in the front of the turret 3/8 by 32. The next item to look at is this. It's a special type of whistle valve, which is normally used for mounting chime whistles or large whistles in general. This is going to mount on top of the turret, and I will make a heat-proof wooden handle for it. And the steam outlet will be piped directly to the whistle, which is fitted to the spectacle plate at the front of the cab. The pile is now diminishing rapidly. This is the injector water valve, and it uses 1/4" diameter pipe. I can't decide whether this is going to be better fitted to the driving truck or the engine. I'll have a look and see what it's going to look like if I fit it to the engine. And by the term look like, I don't mean its appearance, I mean the ease of operation. You need a water valve to regulate the flow of water to the injector, and here's the water valve sat next to the injector. And now all that is left is the loop of 1/4 inch diameter copper tubing. Now it's time to look at these superb water gauges. These water gauges apparently are a new design. I don't know how new the design is, but you can choose which way around you want them to fit. I did actually video me doing this, but all you could see was the back of my hands most of the time. The best way to do it is to first of all mention that they both arrived as a left-hand water gauge with the controls on the left. And here are the simple instructions for converting the water gauge to either left or right-hand orientation. It was a very simple operation to complete, and I was very impressed by the workmanship on these parts. I can't really say anything about them, just have a look. As near to perfection as anything I've ever seen. And at this stage, I'd better mention they are reassuringly expensive. I'm going to make some water gauge protectors for these, and by water gauge protectors I mean just that, something to protect the water gauge. No glass box to protect the driver. Over the years I've broken a few water gauges when the engine's been in steam, and at these sizes it's not exactly a thermonuclear explosion. The main idea, as in the name, gauge glass protector, is to protect the glass from being smashed by the shovel when firing on the move. The design will be identical to the one that I made and fitted to my large Showman's engine's water gauge. And that is it. I can't really say any more. I have 1 or 2 more jobs to do on the Twin Victoria, but very shortly you will see what I do with all these parts. Stay safe, stay healthy, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists you can actually watch the videos back to back.